Welcome to another edition of Rivals. I'm Scott Mitchell. He's Jason Buck. Rivals has arrived, and now it's going to the playoffs. Playoffs?
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about playoffs?
That's what it's all about.
We can't even win a game. I just wanted to do
That's
that.
what it's all about.
All right. This is what you live for. This is what you want to do.
Yeah.
You want to be in the playoffs. First round of the playoffs were phenomenal. Got some great teams that are actually still alive. I'm curious, Jason, who do you like this year in the Super Bowl?
You know what? I have to go back to it. I think Andy Reid's going to do it, and I think he's going to get there. I just on the AFC
so they're playing
side,
the Colts.
Mahomes, I mean, he's just on fire.
Do you know how many times that the Kansas City's beaten the Colts in the playoffs?
Good.
Do you know how many times they've beaten the Colts in the playoffs?
Yeah.
They're 0-4. They're 0-4. Do you know the last time they won a home playoff game in Arrowhead Stadium?
Oh, probably the Super Bowl III.
It's a long, it's decades.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. We may not have been born,
Yeah.
just so you know.
Yeah.
So you can look at that as they don't play very well at home and they don't play very well against the Indianapolis Colts.
They got to have hope for Andy Reid.
Or you could say, you know what, the percentages say it's about time that they win.
It's about time they have the magic. And I tell you, Mahomes, man, he is on fire.
But you've seen that before.
Yeah.
You've seen regular season on fire, like totally fizzle out in the playoffs.
And Indianapolis is playing fantastic coming into the playoffs. You don't want to face somebody like that. The Chargers, you just look at them, you're like, oh, they're the guys that are the spoilers coming in. You have home field advantage. I'm just going to say, Andy Reid's made it to the Super Bowl one time before and lost it. I think he's going to get there again before he retires. And I'd just still go with Kansas City and New England in the AFC Championship game. But this is Andy Reid's year.
So here's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the LA Chargers. And I'll tell you why. From the AFC,
none of these are bad picks.
No, and that's what's so great about the playoffs, by the way, is you can cheer for really any team in the playoffs because you can go, well, Tom Brady. You just go, it's incredible. It's incredible that they continue to get back there. It's remarkable what they've done. How hard it is. You know how hard it is to go to and win a Super Bowl. And, of course, I know how hard it is. We both know it's just brutal. Brutally hard. The Chargers have the best record in the AFC. The best record in the AFC above anyone else. They may be the best team in the AFC. Unfortunately, just kind of how things played out, Kansas City was obviously equally as good. The Chargers did beat KC in KC, so they know that they can beat them. Yeah. And I love the matchup with Phillip Rivers going back to Foxborough. If you remember a few years ago, he was on fire. He was like the hottest quarterback, and they probably should have won. And he had I think he had an MCL sprain or something, and should have never played in the game, but really just gutted it out and played, and kind of with one hand tied behind his back, and they still were in that game. So I'm curious to see a really good LA. I'm trying to find out who they are because I want to call them the San Diego Chargers, and I just can't do it anymore.
I know.
And so I like them in. So
make a good argument with them.
And I just think Frank Reich, and maybe the magic is, maybe it'll end up or die this week, but I just get a sense that this is a team that's going to go far into the playoffs. And so I like the LA Chargers against the Indianapolis Colts, and I like the Colts in the Super Bowl. I'm not the Colts, the Chargers.
Yeah, and none of those are bad picks, and you make a great argument in it, and I like everything you say. You can never throw out that Belichick. I mean, and Brady. I mean, I know he's old. You got to go to Foxborough, and New England's defense is,
and they're not. It's not going to be as hard a challenge as it maybe it was in the past.
Man, they come out with just the most amazing game plan and ready to play.
I know. They do a lot on experience.
They do a lot on experience. They know how to play at this level, and in New England, and the weather, will help them. And I'm still gonna stay with. We're totally opposite. I'm going with the. I'm going with.
This is cool. I'm going with
this. The Patriots and the Kansas City and the
and you're saying Kansas City's going to win it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Just for Andy.
What about the NFC? There are 4 teams. You got Dallas is playing at the LA Rams, and then you have one team. I keep forgetting they're going to play the Saints.
Yeah.
That team.
Yeah, that team.
Yeah.
Why am I my brain locked too?
They're not going to win anyways.
Yeah. No, Saints got it.
This is what happens.
This happens with
when you're old football
CTE.
players.
This is
Yeah, that one
CTE
team
live.
there. I like
If you watch the
them,
movie Concussion, actually lived through that. With all those players on that show, knew every one of them. But,
well, it's the defending world champions. Hello, it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes,
because they beat the Bears.
Lost it too for a second.
We're sitting here going.
I'm going. What? Yeah, it's the Eagles.
Hey,
they
by the way,
off
people,
the Bears,
we actually played in the NFL.
Yeah.
Go figure. Anyways,
go figure that we.
So this team, you've got the Philadelphia Eagles, kind of like the Colts. You know, they kind of found a way. They know how to play. They know how to win in the playoffs. Nick Foles seems to be up to his old magic. Of course, you have Drew Brees.
And you're playing in New Orleans.
Okay, here's the crazy thing about New Orleans. Do you know what their record? Their road record is actually better than their home record.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they lost a meaningless game. So
that was never my experience.
I know their home and their road records are virtually identical.
That's nuts.
But they're hard to beat. That being said, hard to beat them.
And you turn up the juice going into the playoffs, and every game's your last game. You're playing. I mean, it is. And so the importance of it, I think you're going to have. I'm going to go with New Orleans on that side of it, and then on the other side,
the Cowboys,
Dallas, Dallas and the Rams. And I know half the coaches over at the Rams because I'd coached with them when I was an intern over at the Redskins, McVay and those guys. And I'm gonna go with the Rams. I'm gonna go because I'm Dallas. I'm a Redskin guy. I can't go with Dallas.
Yeah.
But besides that, the joke of Redskins and Dallas, I really believe the Rams are the team on that one. And I think
you know what I've seen with the Rams is they seem tired to me. Yeah. There was this focus, there was this energy, and as the season got toward the end, it felt like they were kind of fading as opposed to the defense started giving things up they weren't closing out games, and I just didn't see this, and I didn't see kind of an uptick right at the end of the season, like, okay, now it's time to get serious.
Which is scary.
And so they feel vulnerable to me. They feel like they're not this sure lock. Because at the beginning of the season, I had the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Rams as my two choices for the Super Bowl. But now with of course Pittsburgh out, and the Rams make me a little nervous. However, they have had that week to rest, and you kind of feel
exactly what I was going to say.
You kind of feel like that, and the Cowboys have to travel a decent amount.
And the Rams, got knocked out of the playoffs last year when they were hot. I think they got a little more experience. I think that'll help them.
I'm really vacillating between the two of these, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with the Saints.
I think that's the absolute right.
And I'm going to go with the Saints in the Super Bowl.
I agree. We're on the same page.
Saints and Chargers in the Super Bowl.
Saints in Kansas City.
The old crusty quarterbacks, Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, got a little bit left in the tank.
Yeah, Drew Brees versus Mahomes.
So you're the Rams and Mahomes.
Yeah.
Mahomes.
In the Super Bowl.
And only half of the stadium's going to show up because it's L.A., so no one ever goes and watches it.
That is so true when you play in the NFL and you got to go play in L.A. back when we had the Raiders and the Rams in
They're
L.A.
just a little bit too refined to watch football.
It would be half stands.
Yes.
It was not the funnest place to play.
All right, well, this round of rivals is now over.
Oh. Do I not get to see you till next week?
No. Go.
All right. We're off to our corners.
Go, take it, and go away.
Let's go to a movie.
Go to a movie? All right, he's Jason Buck.
And he's Scott Mitchell.
And I'm related to him.
Is that awesome?
Yeah.
Ninth great grandparents.
Way back there. Anyways, you can text Rivals to 65537. Like us on those social sites. Dial us in on that phone of yours. And until then, we'll catch you soon.